This is me wishing you a Merry Christmas. This is my Christmas gift to you. It's been a long while. It is a year already since I made a video, and that's because of so many reasons. So in today's video, I'm not even going to bore you, but I'll come back make a I'll come back to make a separate video on why I've been away for so long. But in this video, I'll be showing you how to make the trouser, how to cut and how to sew the trouser. Yeah, so let's get right into the video. I'm going to be identifying the right and the wrong side of my fabric. Now to know the right side of your fabric, the punctured part, that's the hem part, that's the yardage part, yeah, where the hole is punctured outward, where the hole is punctured outward, where the hole is rough is your wrong side, but where the hole is smooth, where the hole is smooth is your right side. Yeah, so that's how to know the wrong and the right side of the fabric. Now, thank God I have joining me. It just makes everything easy for me to know. It just makes it easy for me to know the right and the wrong side. You can see this is the right side, this is the wrong side. Yeah, this place is more smoother. Is Abi? Hey, voila. This is this is more smoother while this place is rough. On my fabric also, so the measurement I'll be needing is my waist, my hip circumference and the length of my hip, my thigh circumference and the length of my thigh, that's the length of my crotch, my knee circumference and my knee length, then the length of my trouser and my trouser circumference. Now my waist is 33, that is 33 divided by 4, 8.25. My hip is 40 inches divided by 4, which is 10 inches. My thigh is 24 inches divided by 2, which is 12. It is only your thigh you'll be dividing by 2, and the circumference for your knee, yeah, and the circumference for your trouser length. These are the only things that you'll be dividing by 2. My thigh is 24, which will be divided by 2, which is 12. So my thigh is the biggest part of my measurement, which I'll be folding my trouser by 12 inches. This trouser is not a basic trouser, it is a palazzo kind of. So, but I'll be drafting a basic trouser first, then converting it to a palazzo just to show you how a basic trouser looks. Now, the essence of your trouser, importantly, is your crotch. The length of your crotch should be accurate. If your crotch is not accurate, that is when you start having issue of a very tight crotch. Yeah, so let's get right into folding our fabric. I'm just going to fold. So I'll be folding my fabric by 12 inches with 5 inches extra because it is palazzo. So that's 12 plus 5 inches extra is going to be 17 inches. So I'm going to be folding my fabric by 17 inches because it is not a basic trouser. But I'm also going to be drafting the basic trouser on this pattern as well, on what I'll be doing. So I'm going to be measuring 12 plus 5 inches, which is 17 inches. Yeah, 2.5 inches at this side and 2.5 inches at the other side. This is for the extension of my palazzo. So I'll measure 2.5 inches from the beginning of my fabric all through the way down. That's the length of my trouser, which is 41 point plus 41 plus 2 which is 43 inches, but just measure 2.5 inches all the way down on both sides. The length of my basic trouser is 14 inches, but I want my trouser to be long, so I'll be adding extra 3 inches to it, which is 43. Because it is a palazzo, it has to be longer, so I'll be deducting 2 inches away from the length of my trouser, which is 41 inches, plus my 5-inch seam allowance for joining back my band, which will be 41.5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead to measure from the hem, that's the tip of my trouser downwards, which is 41.5 inches also, like I am doing. Then 2 inches for hemming, 2 inches. Now, what I have here is my basic trouser. This measurement here is for my basic trouser. That's why I did it, so that you would see the differences. I'll just go ahead to measure the length of my crotch, because now this trouser is going to be on high waist. So for an high waist trouser, for my size and for my height, I'll be using 13 inches. For someone that is shorter than me, it's fine for them to use 12 inches. But for someone taller than me, it is 14 inches. Yeah. Formula for crotch length is hip divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. That's because this is a basic trouser, but because this is an high waist, I'll be adding 1.5 inches extra to that measurement. Now the length of my crotch will now become 13 inches. Now I just went ahead to measure 13 inches from the tip of my trouser downwards. But remember to measure 0.5 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to remeasure again, remembering to remove my 2 inches for my band. So I would measure 2 inches from that's my seam allowance. Yeah, 2 inches like so, and measure 13 inches to correct that. Yeah, so this is the length of my crouch. So I'll go ahead to measure 13 inches all through the way, remembering my 2 inches band allowance. Now, when you measure from the initial tip of your trouser, it gives you 11 inches with 0.5 seam allowance, which is 11.5. So the length of my hip is always like 2 inches away from the length of your couch, but you can always measure yourself to be sure. You can always measure yourself to be sure. So I just went ahead. So now there's a formula for the crotch extension. That's the crotch extension, which is hip times 0.05. Hip times 0.05. But here I made a mistake, which I'll be correcting. Yeah. So now that answer gives us 2 inches for me for my hip. Crotch extension varies depending on your hip. So I just went ahead to measure 2.5, which I initially did, but I'll be correcting that in this video. Don't worry. So I just went ahead to measure 2.5 inches all the way up, like so. Then I collected my lines together. Now that's for my crotch extension, which I'll still be correcting. That's why I decided to make a voiceover of this video. Now the next thing is to measure my waist. My waist is 33 divided by 4, which is 8.25. That is what I measured there. Then my hip is 10 inches, which is accurate as this. So just make sure to mark. My thigh is 24 inches divided by 2, which is 12, which I have like so. Yeah. Then I'll make a curve outward, a curve of 0.25 inch. Make sure that it is 0.25 inches so that it will sit properly. to make a curve like so. Now you make a curve back to the length of that hip. Make a curve back to the length of your hip. Now this will reduce bulkiness around that area. It will eliminate gaping around that area. So it is very important for you to curve that area very well. And so the next thing is to measure the midpoint of my waist, which is 4.1, because you know my waist is 8.25. So I'm just going to measure 4.1 at that region. Then come down by 0.5 inch. I'm going to come down by zero point 0.5 inch. This is because we also want to eliminate bulkiness around your crotch area so it sits perfectly. So connect it back to your side waist. So I'll be doing a little bit of correction at my crotch area. You have to divide your hip by 4 times 0.05, not 0.25. I made a mistake there. So it is 0.05. So this gives me 2 inches. I'll measure my hip to see that it is 12 inches. So make sure that your waist, you come down by zero point 0.5, connect it back to your dart line and connect your dart line back to your side waist. Now, I always like ease around my hip. So I'll just go ahead to connect my hip to my waist and also give ease like zero point 0.5 inch ease because I don't always want it to be so tight. But you can leave yours as it is. So I'll connect it back to my waist like so. And so I'll measure the length of my knee, which is 20 inches for the length of my knee. Make sure to measure all through your fabric like I'm doing. And so once you are done doing that, I'll be dividing my knee circumference. Yeah, I'll be dividing it by two. I have 12 inches here, and 12 divided by 2 is 6 inches. So you go ahead to mark your 6 inches. Now the initial, my basic circumference is 19 inches, which is 19 divided by 4 is 4.75, which I went ahead to divide on both sides. Now the hem of my trouser, I have 12 inches divided by 2, which is 6 inches. And so my circumference is 12 inches divided by 4, which is 3 inches on both sides. I hope you get that. Your knee will be divided by 4, your M2 will be divided by 4. So I just went ahead to connect all through to my crouch region. And for my sides, I'll be connecting it back to my hip region as well. So this is how your basic trouser should look like. This is how your basic trouser should look like. So you just go ahead to add seam allowances to the sides. That's half an inch, 0.5 inch seam allowances to the side. So, but because this is not a basic trouser, I'll be connecting, doing my palazzo and connecting that from my hip downwards. So I'll just go ahead to connect from my crotch area to that 2.5 inches we left as our allowance for our palazzo. So just go ahead to connect like I am doing. You do the same thing too for the hip as well. So for the M line, I always like to come out by zero point 0.5 inch at the M line so that it will be easy for me to sew when I am folding in. Yes, it will have a little bit of extension. But I didn't show it here. When else I'm making a trouser, I would show you the process of that. So I am connecting my hip to the palazzo, to the wideness of the palazzo that I want. So I'll just go ahead to add zero point 0.5 seam allowance to all sides, including my waist, zero point 0.5 seam allowance all through like I am doing, and to my hip area at the sides too. My fabric into two for my back. And so my crotch extension for my back is 1 inch longer than the front. So my front is 2 inches and my back is 3 inches. So at my curvy part, that curvy part, I can make sure to come out by 0.5 inch away from the front. That's for the back, and I reconnected the back to the actual waist. For the height of my waist for the back, I came up by 1 inch and connected it back to my side waist. That's the center back now. I came up by 1 inch and connected it back to my side waist for the front. Please make sure that your crouch for the back is that the curvy part is 0.5 inch away from the front. It is very important so that your bum sits perfectly well. And that's all about drafting a trouser. See you in my next video. Bye.